strangers. I'm Britt.
And I'm Dee.
Welcome to another episode of
It's a Strange World After All.
The podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep the wild strange. The whole wide wild.
In today's episode, a German family is brutally murdered in their isolated home. Because I'm not going to say that. Because I was like, Brittany, no, I can't say that.
I forgot.
And
Rule.
she still put it in there.
Rule.
No. This massacre, known as the Hinterkaifeck farm murders, is one of Germany's oldest unsolved murders of a family.
Ooh. What?
I don't feel like that was warranted.
I did feel like it was like, ooh, like, like, whoa, like that's big. I think that's big.
No, I know, but it was just
like, ooh,
the way you said it, and then the look on, yeah, like, the little wiggle.
Yeah. Okay, so there are quite a couple of German names in here, so don't sue us if we say it wrong.
Oh yeah, please, because I can't even say rural.
I can barely speak English, let alone.
I know.
Hinterkaifeck is a small farmstead located about 43 miles north of Munich, Germany. We're gonna go with Munich. So if we're wrong, let us know. But we're a good 80% sure that it's Munich, Germany.
Okay.
It is half a mile behind Hinter, the town of Kaifeck. The farm was the home of Victoria Gabriel and her two children, Kazilia and Josef, as well as her parents, Andreas and Kazilia Gruber. What is Hans Gruber from? It's from Die Hard, isn't it?
I don't
Remember
know.
Die Hard? I think his name was Hans Gruber. Man, hold on.
I don't know.
I got to know. That's like one of my favorite movies. And I had gone my whole life and never saw it. And then I finally saw it and was like, oh my God. Where have I been? Yeah, Hans Gruber is the terrible. Have you never seen Die Hard?
I've seen it.
Oh, okay. It's just been a while.
Yeah.
If y'all are Die Hard fans, Hans Gruber.
Victoria's daughter and mother had the same name. So Victoria, her daughter is Kazilia, and her mother's name is Kazilia. Just to be clear. Okay.
We're here.
Also living in the home was the maid Maria. The previous maid had quit 6 months before the attack. Apparently, she heard sounds in the attic and thought the house was haunted. So that's a kind of a clue. So just keep that in mind.
What was I going to say? It could have also been
an animal.
I immediately think it's like rats or raccoons or something.
Yeah.
On March 31st, 1922, an unknown person lured the Gruber family and the maid, Maria, to their deaths. It was Maria's first day on the job.
Man, like, that is messed up.
It is.
Because the other maid, well, she had that's messed up.
She said,
the
other maid said she wasn't with it. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Andreas, his wife Kazilia, their daughter Victoria, and Victoria's daughter Kazilia were all lured to the barn one by one and murdered with a pickaxe. The maid Maria and Victoria's son Josef were murdered in the home in their bedrooms. The perpetrator lived with the 6 bodies for 3 days. That's crazy. That's all I have to say about that.
Oh, that was your note?
Yep. I was just like, no, she needs to know that when I read that, I felt like that is crazy. At what point, though, do bodies start to smell? It's my thing. And you're talking about 6 bodies.
Yeah. But then they were, Were they in the middle of nowhere? I mean, they were on a farm.
If you can smell cows doo doo all over a farm, I'm sure you
That's what
can
I'm saying.
smell.
They probably wouldn't even notice. They probably would have thought,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not saying my bad because I didn't even think about anybody else involved. I was thinking about the person. Like,
Oh,
was
I
this?
thought you were
Yeah,
talking about like the
I see
neighbors and
what you
stuff.
saying. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh.
Because that is a
Oh
good. That
yeah.
is a good thought. But no, the
Yeah, but
person.
how could you live in there?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't even think of that.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
granted it was only 3 days, but you're talking about decomposing six bodies that are just there
Yeah,
on a farm.
that's true. On April 4th, neighbors and the townspeople stopped by the farm to check on the family. Kazilia had not been to school for 2 days in a row, and the mail was starting to pile up. They immediately called the police, and an investigation was launched. So it's good to sometime. Well, it's too late, but I was gonna say it's good to have nosy neighbors.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Yeah,
I agree. Shout out to the neighbors
yeah.
if you're listening. You see, it used to be some people in Germany listening. At least one person.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I agree. I agree. About a week before the murders, Andreas Gruber noticed something strange on the farm. He found footprints leading from the woods behind the farm, but no footprints leading away from it. He also complained about hearing footsteps in the attic, and he noticed the keys to the tool shed had been missing. There was also a newspaper in the home that he did not purchase. So there's the attic again.
Yeah,
Definitely is giving off squatter vibes.
yep, they were. This may be, when was this? Because I was thinking of the
The
Denver
20s.
one too. Um, this may be the first frogging case. Because me
That's what
and
you
Dawn
call
have
that,
been
right?
watching that show. Yeah. I don't
They
know
have
if
a
that
show?
show is on Lifetime. Yeah, it's called Frogging or something. I don't know. But it's just people telling their stories about having people in their house, like living in their attics and stuff.
And they didn't even know. That's
Yep.
crazy.
So yeah, so it wasn't haunted, it was just a Frogger. So, but then how, well, he got the keys from the tool shed, but they didn't think to go check like
When?
when he heard the footsteps in the attic.
Oh,
Like
that's
you could,
true.
even though it could have been an animal, but your maid
Still.
quit cuz she said y'all had a ghost.
That's what I was going to say when she said
Yeah.
something about it was when they should have gone and checked it out because like you said it could have been an animal, but you don't know if it's like an animal that's causing havoc or having babies like
Yep.
yeah, I agree. They should have checked on it.
Police came to the conclusion that the footsteps, the newspaper mysteriously appearing, and the footprints could only mean that the killer had been living in the attic for some time before killing them. It had to have been at least 6 months because the first maid quit because she was experiencing the same things as Andreas. There you go.
How just going back to the attic thing, how can someone live in your house? Okay, let me make this disclaimer, or not disclaimer. Let me say this: I'm not victim blaming because I know we sensitive. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm definitely not victim blaming. But how can someone live in your house for that long and you not know? Like how big was your house?
I mean, apparently it's happening a lot. They
That's
have a whole
crazy.
TV show. And it's funny because it was this these black women, they were roommates and they thought it was a ghost on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like saging and all kind of stuff. But it was just a homeless dude. And he was
That's
like going through that.
crazy.
So dang, because I don't want to like keep going on and on. But so at one point, they were in one of the girls' rooms watching a movie, and one of the girls gets a phone call from the other girl who left her phone in her room. So the guy was in her room, picked up her phone, and called the other girl. And
Stop.
they were in there like freaking out. I was
He
like,
was
and so
playing with them.
yeah, and then when they went in her room, they saw her phone like I guess in the closet or something. But he had already got out of the room.
That's crazy. How big was their place for that to be happening like that, though?
It had to have been like 3 bedrooms cuz they all had their own rooms. So, and it was
Oh,
3 of them.
but it was a
And then
one
yeah,
floor apartment.
I think it was 2. It might have been like a townhome or
Oh,
something. But yeah, it got to the point where one of the girls, she left. Like she moved out cuz she thought it was like a ghost.
yeah.
But yeah, it was just a homeless dude. So it happens.
I was gonna say maybe that was what we had at the intro because that day
That's what Dawn
in
said.
the kitchen, I was like, that day in the kitchen, maybe he was just trying to get him something to eat because the hot sauce was open. I was like, what the hell? The investigation was hampered by the number of people who interacted with the crime scene. The bodies and items in the home had been moved, and people even cooked and ate meals in the kitchen. How? Like the staff, or like just random people?
No,
Is this like
just people in the neighborhood.
so like a lot like Velisca? They was just
Yeah.
coming.
Yep.
Why? How they let them in there like that?
I mean, this was I'm just saying this was back then. It was different. I mean, I don't even know.
In 1922, they were just like, we don't like yellow tape. What is that? It's fine. You can come and go as you please.
And then that is disrespectful. Like these
I thought you were about
people
to say.
what
I thought you were gonna say disgusting because it's
that
disgusting
too.
too. That's what I
That
thought
too.
you. But go ahead. It is disrespectful.
Yeah, y'all just in their house cooking and like they didn't just die.
Like,
Like,
well, yeah. What do you want? What do you want to go to lunch? I don't know. That's my German
and
accent. What do you want
then
to go to lunch today? Yeah, we go today.
I'm not gonna laugh at that.
That's what they were doing though. You gonna go to lunch
And
today?
then why
Yeah.
you gotta?
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you say
I
what
was
you.
just gonna say, cook at home. Why you gotta be at their house?
That's what I'm saying. Was it planned? Like
I don't know.
it's
I
a
don't know.
weird.
Yeah,
They be doing commercials naked though, so they a little eccentric.
Lord. Okay. At first, investigators thought everyone died instantly from their wounds, but it was determined that young Kazilia survived for hours and most likely died from shock. She was missing clumps of her hair, which she may have pulled out herself. That, man, that is intense.
Yeah, it's pretty
Because that's the
terrifying.
kid, that's not the mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Who would do something like that?
exactly. I don't know who would. It's the same person that was squat in a home with a family. It's weird.
Yeah.
And they're saying due from shock. She was pulling out clumps of hair.
Yeah, because like when you're in shock, you do like,
Yeah,
you'll do, yeah. You know what I mean?
yeah. I get
You're
what you're
not in
saying.
your
It's
right
just scary.
mind.
It's
Yeah.
just scary.
Yeah.
The day after the bodies were discovered, a court physician performed the autopsies in the barn. It was determined that the murder weapon was a pickaxe, but it could not be found. After the autopsies, their heads were sent to mediums in Munich to try and get more clues about the murders. They were unsuccessful and the heads were lost during the turmoils of World War II. Their bodies had to be buried headless. Whoa.
Now, how do you lose 6 heads? Like, I
I
guess,
was
I mean, yeah, they said it was because of all the chaos or whatever, but that's still 6 heads, though.
yeah, but I can believe it though because of the chaos of World War II. And then they were doing a lot of questionable things like and
Well,
testing and stuff
yeah.
like that. It could have just
Yeah.
gotten I don't know.
Yeah, because I was like, why would they send it to mediums? But that was around the time, I think that's when it first started, the spiritualist movement. Like,
Mhm.
I think it started like in the 20s. So, okay. That
That's
makes
pretty cool.
sense.
This feels like a not supernatural, an American Horror Story episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think, have they? No.
Uh-uh.
Yeah,
It
because I
just
was like,
feels like
have they like? Because sometimes they'll throw like little stories in there, like how they did the Betty and Barney Hill. Was that what, the second
season
season?
2. Yeah,
Yeah,
Asylum. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It is though still something that it seems like they would do.
yeah. 3 days before the bodies were found, which is thought to be the day the murders were committed, an artisan, Michael, passed by the Hinterkaifeck farm. He noticed that the oven had been heated by someone. He also said the smoke coming from the fireplace had a disgusting smell. The police never investigated his claims. Why not?
Oh, and this would have come before, or this would have come right after right after they were killed.
Yeah,
Oh, I did air quotes because they were killed. There's no doubt. My bad. There's no doubt about that. I was like, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they wouldn't have investigated. Maybe because it just seemed like trivial. It didn't seem that serious. Like, because you can look back at it now and say, okay, well, that sounds
yeah.
serious, but at the time, maybe for them, it wasn't serious.
How he see all that? How he see that the oven was heated? I just thought about that.
I thought it was okay. I read that wrong. So the fireplace is a fireplace. They don't actually cook out of the fireplace. It's not like a cauldron. It was two separate things, or like a
Yeah,
potbelly stove was what I was thinking
I
of.
get
So I
it.
was
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, should have. Because yeah, how would you see that the oven was heated? He was just walking by. I was
Yeah.
like, that oven look like it's on. I don't see the family.
I
That's a good
mean,
question.
that's probably what happened though.
And they didn't even take it serious.
Mm.
Mm.
Unless it was, well, no, he wouldn't have went to the police. 'Cause I was like, Michael is looking a little suspect. Cause yeah, how he know the oven was on?
You right. You are right.
But then why would he have gone to the police though?
Maybe
Maybe to
to
throw him off.
yes, I was gonna say maybe to clear his name. I don't know. On April 1st at about 3 a.m., the butcher Simon was on his way home and said he saw two strangers at the edge of the forest. When they saw him, they turned their faces so he couldn't see them. When he heard about the murders, he thought it was possible that they may have been involved. It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, because that sounds suspect. What are y'all doing at the edge of the forest? And then they acting suspicious. They could have just been like, they could have just waved and
Guten
and
Tag.
spoke, but they trying to hide their faces.
Yeah, that's true. That
So,
is suspicious.
yeah. Less than a year after the murders and after the investigation, the farm was completely demolished and the murder weapon was found in the barn. So they, how come they
Why
didn't
take
find
a
it in the
year?
first place?
Look, why did it take a whole 365 days? Oh, it said less than a year, but it still had to
Oh,
been a
but
little bit of
still,
time. But it still had to
y'all
been
had to tear the whole house down to find the murder weapon.
in the barn. I wonder where in the
Where
barn
most
it
of
was.
the bodies were.
Yeah, what?
Because only two were actually in the house.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I
Mm.
don't know. Maybe it was where it was. Maybe they like tried
What?
to bury it or something. I said maybe it had to do
Oh,
with where
maybe.
the person left it.
Maybe. But it doesn't sound like they did a good investigation anyway.
Yeah. In the middle of May 1927, 5 years after the murders, a stranger was said to have stopped a resident and asked him questions about the killings. He shouted that he was the murderer and ran into the woods. He was never identified. Are you laughing?
That's not, it's not
What
funny.
is happening? What is
Because
happening?
that is weird.
I
Like,
expect it from me. I don't expect it from you. You're supposed to be the mature one.
no, that's not funny.
It's
Like,
weird.
picture it
It's
in your,
weird.
picture it.
It's a
And then how
weird.
do you even react? Like the person that he stopped, how do they even react to that? Like he just said, I did it and ran off
I'm the murderer.
and ran into the woods.
I don't know. Where did he come
Okay.
from? It probably was him though. It probably was him though, cause he probably was homeless in like a squatter, and it just feels a little crackheadish. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Let's get into some suspects.
okay,
So,
okay. Suspects,
yeah.
theories.
Victoria's husband, Carl Gabriel, was reportedly killed in Ars, France by a shell attack in December 1914 during the First World War. It looked like a grenade almost. So that makes sense. Because
It's
I
not a
saw your.
seashell. It's not a seashell. It's like, a seashell.
Because I was like, what is she talking about
What
a
the hell is a
seashell for?
shell?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Was today years old when I found out what a shell was.
Yeah. And not a bullet shell.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of at
Yeah.
first too. But then I was like, well, she just would have said he got shot. Like,
Yeah. This could never be proven because his body was never found, but it was a war, so I don't think they would have found all the bodies.
right.
Yeah. After the murders, the townspeople began to speculate if he had in fact died in the war.
Mm.
Victoria had given birth to her son Joseph while her husband was at war. Her father, Andreas, was rumored to be the father of Joseph. So it's a
What
little
the?
incest, not a little, but a lot of incest going on. So they had an incestuous relationship that was documented in court records, and it was well known throughout the village. Victoria and Andreas had been convicted of incest and served time in prison.
That's
So
against the
yeah,
law?
it's not. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
didn't
I
know.
mean, not everywhere, but
Okay.
most places. Yeah.
Even if it's like two
As it
willing
should.
participants.
It's incest.
No, I know. I know what it is. I mean, people have been doing it though since the beginning of time. I'm just trying to figure out. 'Cause I mean, if two parties are like, yeah, 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 we with it, they can still go to jail.
That's why it's not illegal everywhere, just certain
Oh, okay.
places. Yeah.
The more you
Which it should
know.
be illegal.
I mean, shoot, if people, never mind, I ain't gonna get into it. I don't want to be
Are you talking about Kevin Gates?
Hell no, I was not even thinking about that. I
Oh,
don't even know. I don't like him. I don't follow him. I don't even know what you talking
I don't
about.
either. I think it was his ex-wife was like his cousin or something.
Oh, see,
Or
I
his
feel like a lot of
ex-girlfriend.
people have been with their cousins. I don't know. It's probably a lot higher number than people think. Because it's cousins, just a
Yeah.
lot of cousins. I don't know. I just feel like if you want to be weird, let them be weird. That's
But
them.
that was a father and daughter.
Yeah, no, that's sick. Don't get me wrong. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I just didn't know it was against the law. But yeah, that is pretty sick. Hey, wasn't the guy, the crazy dude that like locked his daughter in some basement that he built? Wasn't his name Joseph?
Yeah, Fritzl or
Yeah,
something
or
like that.
Joseph
Yeah.
Fritzl. Yeah,
It's
that's what that made
spelled
me
the
think of.
same, so I don't know if it was Joseph or Joseph.
That story is crazy too.
Yeah.
We could look into doing that because I feel like a lot of the people, like our current audience, may not have heard of it
Oh, yeah.
before.
Yeah.
After the end of the Second World War, war captives from either the Schrobenhausen or the Skrobenhausen region who were released prematurely from Soviet captivity claimed that they had been sent home by a German speaking Soviet officer who claimed to be the murderer of Hinterkaifeck. Their credibility was diminished because some of them later revised their statements. I feel like they were just probably just talking myths. Like, cause by the no, for real, I'm not trying to even trying to
Yeah.
be funny. Cause by that point, I
Yeah.
mean, people knew what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
true. Yeah.
I just feel like maybe that was just like them either trying to scare people or just, embellishing some stuff, making stuff up.
Yeah. People believe this Soviet may have been Carl Gabriel because he was spotted after his supposed death. Wait, so people saw him? Well, maybe he didn't die. So, the theory is that he came home after the First World War, found out that his wife Victoria was in a relationship with her father and was carrying his child, and he killed the whole family.
Whoa. That's
Yeah.
motive.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. He had
But
just come
then he
from a
would have
war.
had to wait. Because how old was the little boy? I know it says he waited for about 6 months because that's how long they think the person was in the attic.
Yeah.
So,
I would think that
yeah, so
somebody
he
would have.
was,
Oh, but they did say people spotted him. Because I was going to say, I would think that somebody would have spotted him.
yeah.
Like around. I don't know.
But
Well, never mind.
this wasn't in Hinterkaifeck where they saw him.
Okay.
This was, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Never mind then. I don't know. If I were him though, I would also assume like that there was like that their relationship was abusive. That's what I would assume. Like
Oh,
the daughter daddy
yeah.
relationship, that was abuse, and
But
that
then if it was, why would she end up going to jail too?
this is back
Unless
then.
yeah, I don't know.
Another suspect was Lorenz Schlittenbauer. He was a Gruber's neighbor. Shortly after the death of his first wife in 1918, Lorenz was rumored to have had a relationship with Victoria. He was also thought to be the father of her son, Josef. Just so we're clear, it was never determined who the father of Josef was. The initials LS appear on Josef's birth certificate, but these could just be the initials of the doctor. They should have called Maury Popovich. How you say his last name?
Povich.
Povich. I was going to say Popovich. Povich. Dang, I didn't even know
Yeah.
they was like this back then.
Like what?
She was busting it wide open. Like, rest her
Oh
soul.
man. Yeah, cause she was married.
Yeah.
Man. Victoria. Okay.
Maybe Gabriel, Carl. Maybe he did find out some stuff. But you shouldn't kill the whole family though. That's not the whole
Yeah.
family fault. I mean, you shouldn't have
Yeah.
killed nobody, but you know,
That too.
don't take the whole family.
Yeah. Lorenz came under suspicion early because of his strange actions immediately after the discovery of the bodies. When Lorenz and other neighbors had gone to investigate, they had to break a gate to enter the barn because all of the doors were locked. Right after finding the four bodies in the barn, Lorenz apparently unlocked the front door with a key and entered the house alone. Where you get a key from?
She gave him one. I mean, nah, keep reading, keep going. Let me not speculations.
This key had gone missing several days before the murders. It's possible that Victoria gave him the key since they were possibly having an affair. Okay.
Mm, scandalous.
Yeah.
It's too much. What you think? How you think he got the key?
I think if they were messing around, she probably did give it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
She gave it to him. That's what you said.
You are
She
childish.
probably did give it to him. She probably did. When he was asked why he went into the house alone when it was possible that the murder could have still been in the house, he allegedly said it was to look for his son, Yosef. Even if this is true or not, it is also known that he did disturb the bodies at the scene, compromising the investigation. So he's claiming Yosef as his own.
Yeah.
Child.
Yeah.
But no one really knows who this baby's father is.
Yeah. Even though the initials were LS, but again, it could have been the doctor's initials.
Man, that's Lorenz's initial. That's too much of a coincidence.
It is. It is. For years, suspicion remained on Lorenz because of strange comments indicating knowledge of details only the killer would know. According to the case files, local teacher Hans Blogger saw Lorenz visiting the remains of the demolished Hinterkaifeck farm in 1925. When asked why he was there, Lorenz said it was because the killer's attempt to bury the remains in the barn was hindered by the frozen ground. What?
What? What?
So this is like right after they tore the house down.
Okay.
Yeah. How would he know about the conditions of the ground inside of the Gruber's barn? He was their neighbor and familiar with the land, so maybe he was just making an educated guess.
I don't know. Lorenz.
Sir, Lorenz, you are. Yeah, he's sketchy.
He's sus for sure.
Yeah.
Another reason people think Lorenz committed the murders was that Victoria demanded financial support for Joseph, and he didn't want to give her any money. There's even deadbeats in Germany. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, in the 20s.
In the 20s. Before his death in 1941, Lorenz won several civil claims for slander against people who accused him of being the murderer of Hinterkaifeck. What?
They done slandered this man's name. I wonder if he got any money. But I mean, he makes the most sense. Him and her husband, if he was still alive.
And the fact that somebody said that they witnessed two people could be maybe that they worked together.
You know what? That, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
You got to think big, bitch. You think it's small. Think it big, bitch.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then they were trying to hide their faces. Carl, because
Yeah.
people thought he was dead if they would have seen him.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a bad
Hmm.
theory.
More than 100 suspects were interviewed, but an official suspect has never been named. The case was officially closed in 1955 and it remains unsolved. Thoughts?
Final thoughts. Yeah, I was just gonna say, damn, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, because we were we were talking about Lorenz and what's the dad's name?
Carl?
Carl.
Oh no, her dad or Yosef's
No,
dad?
no, 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 no. I'm sorry, Joseph's. Well, the guy that the people thought
Her
was dead.
husband.
Her husband,
Carl.
yes,
Yeah.
Carl. It's Carl Lorenz. I was just going to say because I was thinking, okay, well, what could have brought them together? It could have been their hate for Victoria because she was with her dad, and then with Carl, she was with her dad, and she had an affair because they were technically still together, right?
Yep. They were married.
But those were his kids, though, right? The other kids were Carl's kids.
Um, it sure was some other kids. Yeah, because it was the daughter, her daughter Kazilia. So it was just
Yeah,
Kazilia and Yosef. So, who knows? Who was Kazilia's dad?
yeah, I know, right? Because she was out in them streets. She was bending and busting over like a project. I don't know. I was just thinking, like, why would you harm your own kids? But I mean, I guess we've seen some stuff. People do crazy things for love. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my theory. Because the LS is too coincidental. I'm gonna either go with it was just Lorenz by himself, or that it was Lorenz and Carl. And then maybe Carl was the one that was like living in the attic, and then Lorenz was their neighbor anyway, so he didn't have to hide.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
And if you think about it, Carl could have given Lorenz the key.
that's true. That's true. And
So, yeah.
they both could have been on the
Hmm.
lookout, like, because Carl could be like, "Hey, oh no, they didn't have phones." I was gonna say, "Hey, don't come downstairs because the family." But I don't know. That's my theory. I'm gonna go with that theory.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't even think I have a theory because it's too much. It is too much. And so, what about Michael?
Oh
Because
shoot, who is Michael again? I forgot about
the
Michael.
artisan,
Oh yeah, the one.
I don't know, he may not be a suspect, but I just don't like the idea of him looking in a house.
He was just nosy though.
I'm
That's
not,
anybody.
I know a few nosy people, and I don't think they would be looking in people's houses.
I'd be if your window is open or if your
Oh,
blinds are open, I'd be like, what they doing in there? Like, why do you have your window? To me, that's suspicious. Like, especially nowadays for people to have like at nighttime when you know you can see in people's houses. I'm like, why do
oh,
you have your
yeah,
window open
yeah.
like that? What y'all doing in there? So I don't know. I don't know that that's enough for me to be like, for me to say, okay, he's guilty.
Yeah, and then who was the man that screamed that he did it and ran into the woods?
That's what I was gonna say. It could have been Carl. He could have been suffering from PTSD too, because he was in the
Oh,
war.
yeah, true.
So it could have been him. Maybe he looked different.
Oh, maybe he came back and became a hermit and he was living in the woods and then he just decided to go frog in the attic.
Maybe that's our story. He came back. He was living in the woods. The neighbor found him and was telling him his trouble. Lorenz found him and was telling him his troubles, and he was like, "Wait, I know this person. She sounds familiar. That's my wife." And then they came up. They cooked up a concoction, a plan,
I
and
didn't
that's the
say all
plan.
that.
No, but I'm saying it. You may as
Oh.
well. I'm just, I'm just taking the puzzle pieces and putting them together.
Okay. Okay.
They need to open this back up. Germany police, open this back up. Look into them if you can. I don't know how
Yeah.
you would do that because they're probably all no longer with us. But
Who? Oh,
I
all
said
the
all
people.
like
Yeah.
not ESR, all the people involved, all the suspects involved is what I meant.
Well, they had like 100 of them, so over 100.
How
So
would you
yeah,
today have even had that many suspects? So too, that's another thing.
yeah, that's a lot of. They probably just accused everybody. Everybody in the town was a suspect.
I mean, they were sitting there eating, making pancakes, making pancakes and stuff. So maybe everybody was a suspect. Because that's
Yeah,
insensitive. They were like, y'all don't even care about this family. Y'all calling everybody
yeah.
in.
Well, I wonder if it was like in Velisca where they were like taking stuff out of the house too.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, people back then did not care, even though they don't care today. But how are
Still,
y'all? Yeah, yeah, because I feel like today you're not about to go in people's house and cook after they were just massacred.
that's true. I mean, you can't. So
Oh
that's a
yeah,
good
that's
thing. But
true
yeah,
too.
if it were open to the public, I would hope not. Maybe go in and take a little couple
But
of pictures.
then what?
I said maybe go in and take a couple of pictures. I'm saying for the sake of like maybe there are people at home that are like, oh, we want to try to figure this out. I wasn't even thinking from like a
Oh,
selfie standpoint, just like a help us out, help the
because
police
I
out.
was gonna say even back then, like they would like hangings were like an event. Like if somebody was
Oh yeah,
sentenced, and like why would you want to see that?
it was a public thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, my money is on Lorenz. I don't too much know about Carl because he could have died in the war.
Yeah, I wonder how many people though. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I wonder how many people though went unaccounted for though after that war because there were a lot of
Yeah.
deaths. So you could basically just start a new life.
Yep.
That's all, folks. That is all, folks.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast. Twitter at Pod Strange World, and on Facebook and TikTok at It's a Strange World After All. Also, turn on those notifications for our Instagram posts so that you can keep up with our hashtag Myth Mondays and hashtag Strange Saturdays posts.
Yes, we would love to hear from you. What did you think? I'm gonna start saying y'all because we from Texas. What did y'all think? What did you think about this week's episode? Who do you think is responsible for these murders? Is it Michael? Is it Carl? Is it Lorenz? Was it a random stranger that was in the woods
Was it the
naked?
hermit?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Hermit. He may or may have not been naked. I don't know. Also, if there's anything in the world of strange or any true crime cases that you would like us to cover, let us know. Have you ever heard a strange bump in the night? Have you ever seen shadow figures moving about? Have you ever stumbled upon something unexplainable? We want to know about it, and with your permission, share it with our listeners. You can email those submissions to itsastrangeworldafterall@gmail.com or DM us at any other social media platforms D mentioned. Even if you just want to say, hey there, we'll be here.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of
It's a Strange World After All. And thank you, as always, you know who you are, for keeping it strange with us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.